Our final presenter this evening is a freshman computer engineering major from Medina, Ohio. He's also a member of Haley Kashai's class, and his name is Luke Leyden.
We need to delete the World Wide Web, or replace it, or fix it, or do something, because if we don't, the state of the web will only continue to get worse. According to Andy Meek, tech reporter for BGR in 2019, over 1 billion people had their personal information compromised in 2018 alone. And this wasn't from them giving their personal info to a trusted friend or a family member, and then they went and gave it to someone else. This is from people putting their personal information into websites and companies that they trusted, and then these websites and companies mishandled the information and leaked it to the world. So I believe that there are better ways to use both technology and the World Wide Web together to keep one's information secure. I'm a computer engineering technology major. I study networking and how computers work, and beyond that, I've spent even more time recently looking into the World Wide Web and possible solutions to this crisis. And we need to find a solution to this crisis, because if we don't, even more people will continue to be affected, including all of us, because we all use the World Wide Web every day, from our education, to our entertainment, to our banking. So first, I'll go over what's currently wrong with the World Wide Web. And then I'll go into possible solutions to these problems, including a groundbreaking one, proposed by the same man who 30 years ago created the World Wide Web. Finally, I'll go into what would happen if we don't implement one of these solutions. So why is a fix to the World Wide Web needed? Well, the way the web is currently set up isn't that complicated, but it's very unbalanced. According to David Cardinal, co-founder of First Floor Software, writing for Extreme Tech in 2018, the way the web is currently set up is you have to have an account for just about any website you use. And I'm sure you're all aware of this. For seemingly every site we go on, we have to put in our email and create a password. And if it's a shopping website, we have to put in our credit card information and our shipping address. And this is where the problem starts. We hand over our personal information to these companies such as Facebook or Google or Twitter, and then they go and they mishandle data and give it to people who will do harm with it. And this affects every single one of us too, because when these companies use the data, it's us that get hurt in the end, because it's our accounts, our credit scores, and our livelihoods that are ruined. So now you might be asking yourselves, well, how do we fix this? How do we get control of our information back so that these big companies can't just lose it? Well, my first idea was that we would just stop using the World Wide Web. Essentially, we delete it. And that's still an option. However, it's definitely not the most viable, seeing as how ingrained into our lives the web is, from our social medias, to our streaming services, to our video games. And beyond that, the web is actually used for things that are more important than Netflix. So much of our banking and our schoolwork is now done over to the web. Not to mention the fact that at the end of this speech, I'm supposed to tell you all to go and do something, a call to action. And if I tell every person in this room to just stop using the World Wide Web, no one in here would listen to me. I wouldn't even listen to me. However, in doing research for this topic, I found a better solution, and it's a project known as Solid. So what is Solid and how can it fix the web? According to KG Orfidis, tech consultant and writer writing for Wired in 2019, Solid is the brainchild of Sir Tim Berners-Lee, the same man who 30 years ago created the World Wide Web. So the way Solid works is everyone creates what they call a secure pod. Essentially, it's an account. And then you would put all of your personal information into this pod. And then you would grant both individual people and websites permission to look at your data. But the key is, they could never download the data. They could only look at it. So if in the future these websites or individuals got hacked, they wouldn't lose any of your personal information because they never had it to begin with. Think of it as having only one login for the entire web. And if you're a very tech-savvy person, you can even have it so that your secure pod is on your own computer at home, truly putting your information back into your own hands. Having only one place where all of our information is stored is leaps more secure. Only one place that we have to worry about. And if an individual or a company needs access to that information, such as a social media website wanting a photo of us, or a shopping website wanting our address, they have to ask us to see it, giving control of our information back to us. When people and companies switch over to the system, power will once again be in the hands of the consumer, and we'll all have power over our own data again. But if we don't make the switch, things will only continue to get worse. According to Andre Boyson, CIO of SecureKey, writing for itself in 2018, data breaches and hackings will only continue to grow and affect more people in 2019. More and more of us will continue to lose our personal information and will be helpless to stop it. So, because of the way the World Wide Web was initially set up, we have to hand over our personal information to each and every website that we want to use. But if we switch over to Solid, we can have it so all of our information is on our own secure pod, and every time a company wants to see it, they have to ask us for permission to use it. And if we don't make the switch, more and more people will continue to be affected by these data breaches and hackings in the years to come. This is why I believe that we can use both technology and the World Wide Web together to keep all of our information more secure. So now, please, go back to your dorm rooms or your houses or wherever tonight and go to solid.inrupt.com and set up your own personal pod today. I already did it and it only took a couple of minutes. And then just wait. Because what we need to do right now is we need to show both current and future companies that if they switch over and integrate to this system, they won't lose any customers, that their business will have the consumers they need waiting for them when they make the switch. So please, go and create your personal pod today and get control of your personal data back and help get control of the World Wide Web back. Thank you.